Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. Have you ever had one of those days where you just cannot get accomplished what you need to get done related to your reselling business because your time is just being taken up by all sorts of other things that have nothing or very little to do with your reselling business? This is common for many people, and it's actually a reason that many people wind up stopping because they just get too many emotional lows related to that, and they just say it's not worth it and they quit. And if that's you, if you're feeling that way, or you're close to feeling that way, or you just had a bad day recently, or maybe a string of bad days, you are the person that I want to reach out to. Now, maybe you're not having days like that. Maybe everything is going awesome. You're crushing it in sales. Everything's doing great with your social media presence or whatever it is you're doing related to reselling. But maybe next week or next month, something bad happens. You have just a bunch of negative feedbacks that come in. Maybe just a bunch of returns or whatever it is. You just have a bad day or a bad string of days. If that happens to you, think back to this video. Like, those are the people that I'm trying to reach out to. And certainly, if you have stories to share with regards to the topic that I'm talking about, I want you to make sure you share these down below so we could have kind of a repository of advice for people who go through situations like this. And I'm going to share with you what my day was like yesterday and contrast it with what my day was like today. And again, I'm not sharing this because I want any sympathy from anybody, because what happened to me yesterday wasn't anything bad, okay? It was just normal life stuff. I'm sharing it because, again, I want to make sure that I'm reaching out to people who wind up quitting reselling because of days like this, okay? There's ways around it. So let's get into it a little bit. So many people could relate to this because a lot of people who resell are doing it on the side, and I'm no exception to that. I have a full-time job. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, who've never seen me before, I have a full-time job as a board-certified neuropsychologist in a hospital, which means that I spend most of my day assessing patients, adults, children. It's pretty much an 8 to 5 job. I normally could get out of there by 5:30. If you're curious what a day is like, I have a video about that back in the video archives that follows me around for the day and kind of talks to you about it. So if you want to check that out, go check that out. But the point is that normally I get out of there between 5:30. Now, yesterday, I couldn't get out of there, and it was Monday. That's why I say yesterday, even though you're going to see this on Wednesday morning. I'm actually up right now at 1:15 in the morning doing this video, so I'm still thinking it's Tuesday. So I'm referring to Monday, and it was just a rough day. Our society's kind of set up this way that everything kind of piles up over the weekend and lands on your desk on a Monday that you have to deal with. And it's not just related to work, it's with mail that comes in, and it could be snail mail, email, phone messages, all sorts of things just pile up over the weekend. And so, it's one of the reasons why a lot of people, dread Monday, because they know kind of what they're walking into. So anyway, my day yesterday was no exception to that. It was just longer than normally was. So that meant I didn't get home till around 7:40 in the evening. And my schedule is kind of set up that it's really designed for me to get home much earlier than that to get done what I need to do with regards to reselling. Now, I have kind of backup plans and models to kind of, flex in some additional time around those hours when I get home to make sure I get done what I need to get done. But when I got home yesterday, it just kind of didn't stop. So, for example, there was a bunch of mail that came in, not all of which was bad, but like I got my taxes back from my accountant, and there were some things I had to address with regards to that. Now, it was all good news. There was nothing bad about it. It was just an additional thing that took up time. And I'll share that information about taxes and accountants in a follow-up video. I actually want to talk to you about that. I actually had something come in for a sponsored giveaway that I'm going to be doing in my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link to that is down below if you'd like to join. So there was some issues related to that I had to deal with. I was going back and forth talking to Steve Rakin because I'm actually going out to Connecticut on Friday, so I'm preparing for that because me and Steve are going to shoot a whole bunch of live videos together. We're going to do like 5, 6, or 7 of them. So, you know, it's going to be a 4-hour trip for me from Syracuse to Connecticut. And we're going to have a fun time. I'm really looking forward to doing that. And that, again, that's not a bad thing. It's just something that, you know, that took up time. It was something I had to do. You know, my family, of course, you know, I have a wife and 2 kids, and they need some time as well. And so does my dog, Daisy. So I like to spend some time with her and pet her. And my son needed some help with his homework, so I did that. And you know, got to talk to, not got to, but want to talk to my daughter, talk to Mrs. Primetime. And I think I'd say the straw that broke the camel's back, because all that stuff is kind of, you know, the normal kind of average stuff that you're planning on doing. But then when I came home and went upstairs, and I was just kind of getting ready to decompress and hoping I could just kind of come up with a plan to conquer the rest of the evening, I walked into the bedroom and I just saw a death pile of clothes sitting. It's like a mountain of clothes sitting on my bed. And no, this was not clothes for reselling. This was laundry that I was supposed to put away on Sunday, but I just couldn't get to it. And so now I had to put it away that night. So that just took up a lot of time. And by the time I got done with that and, you know, took a shower and all that kind of stuff and came down, I was just physically and mentally exhausted. And the worst thing I possibly could have done was sit down on a couch, but I did. And once I got done talking to Mrs. Primetime, eventually I just passed out. And some of you are probably going to be surprised to hear that, because you're used to me saying I never sleep. Well, I don't need to sleep as much as the average person does, but sometimes just things kind of catch up to you. And, you know, I am good at listening to my body. So if I could feel like when my body says, hey, listen, don't push it past this point or you're going to get sick, that's when I back off and I just kind of listen, and I'll catch up and get some rest. So the good thing about it is that when I woke up the next morning, I felt completely rested and refreshed and ready to conquer the day. But this is the important point right here. This is like the most important part, is when I woke up at that point, so that was like 6 o'clock in the morning, I had a decision to make, okay? I could either sit there and be completely bummed out and depressed that I did not hit my reselling goals for the day prior and feel like I just, you know, kind of failed in a way, or just, you know, just didn't get it done. And on some aspects, that's true. I just didn't get done what I wanted to. But that was just the circumstances of the day. You know, there were just things that happened that were completely outside of my control. And as someone who's involved in mental health care, one of the things I could tell you for sure is that one of the main things that contributes to emotional problems like depression and anxiety and anger problems is a feeling of loss of control. People like to feel like they're in control of things. And when things start happening to you that are outside of your control, it really causes a lot of distress. So what's very, very important is at that moment, as soon as you possibly can, you need to try to do everything you can to regain control. Keep that word in mind, regaining control. You have to react to it in a way so that you do that. So when I woke up at 6 o'clock, rather than sitting there wallowing and feeling bad about it, what I decided to do was to say, all right, what do I have to do? Well, you know, I manage a Facebook group, as I mentioned, and I have things that I do there each morning, like I post a theme of the day. So I said, all right, it's time to get back into it. Let's, you know, figure out what the daily theme is. I'll post on that. I'll see what I could do with regards to taking some pictures so that I could list things later. And so I did that. And I basically tried to take control back. I felt more rested. I tried to, you know, instead of feeling bad that I didn't get things done the day prior, I tried to say, all right, well, what's the positive side of it? Well, now I'm rested. So guess what that means? That means I could probably stay up later tonight and do a video like I'm doing right now after my interview with Noel Griffiths. So if you didn't see that, go check that out. I did that earlier this evening. It was a very, very fun time. And, you know, I made some good sales. I mean, nothing amazing, nothing terrible. It was just, you know, kind of like an average day or, you know, modest day of sales. But, you know, again, not a bad day. And then the best part of the day is that it ended off with me securing someone to come on my YouTube channel for an interview in June that I have been trying to land for months. And I thought that this person would never agree to come on. I expected that I was, because it came to a point where I needed a decision, and I kind of, told the person, listen, I really kind of need to get it done on this date, and if you could do it, great. If not, just let me know and I'll stop bothering you. And the person said, I'll do it. I'm all on board. I just needed a pep talk. I'm good to go. And I was just amazed. I can't believe it. You're gonna love this person. I don't want to announce who it is yet, but when that interview happens, I think it's just gonna be great and inspirational to a lot of people and a lot of fun. But needless to say, I'm ending the day on an emotional high. Like, I feel great. And that's just very different from how yesterday was. And, I kind of like to give analogies between sports and reselling. I think there's a lot of commonalities between the two. So when you have a bad game in sports, like let's say basketball or baseball, maybe you strike out, or maybe you miss most of your shots, and you're just not with it. You're just not feeling, you just can't get it done that day for whatever reason. It just happens. We're doing this, and rather, unlike a sports player who's not playing an actual game every day, like, we are in the game every single day, and it's hard to be 100% on every single day, and every single day being able to devote most of your free time to your reselling business. I mean, it's just unrealistic. So you've got to keep that in the back of your mind and realize that there's just going to be days like that, and you have to have a short memory. Successful sports players have short memories. They don't get too bummed out and too brought down by the bad days. They use that bad day to motivate them to be better the next day. And that's what I decided to do. And again, it's all about taking control over things. And so I hope that this helps you in terms of kind of taking that mindset and remembering that, is to just kind of try to keep an even keel as much as possible. Even if you're having like a really awesome day, like today I'm having an awesome day, but I know that tomorrow might not be so awesome. I hope it is, but you've got to try to keep an even keel with things, because then you set yourself up for failure. If you have a day where you make amazing sales, like let's say you make like $300 worth of sales. Well, if you're thinking that every day is going to be like that, and you set that expectation up for yourself that every day is going to be like that, and then the next day you make $50 worth of sales, well, now you're going to feel, more down than if you normally just, tell yourself, hey, this is great, but it's, not realistic that every single day is going to be like that. But you do what you can to try to, have as good of a day as possible in your business. So, again, I hope that these kind of tips are helpful, and me sharing this experience is helpful with you, because, most of the time that I come on here, I'm very positive, and I like to, keep the channel positive, but at the same time, I don't want to be fake about it, and I want you to know that there are days where not everything goes perfect, not everything goes according to plan, and there's days where I just don't feel as productive as I should, and I feel pretty bummed out about it. But again, the key is to not let that last, and to have a short memory and bounce back and take control. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure you hit the like button, say so down below, give me a little comment, share what you do, a little experience for yourself. If you're having a bad day or a string of bad days, what you do to get yourself out of it, both maybe mental techniques or just something like physically that you like to go do to get yourself back on track. So again, hope you liked it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the Facebook group that I mentioned. And also come by on Instagram. That's @prime_time_treasure. Hope you all have a great day, everyone. Take care.